Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here with me tonight. I didn't intended to go live at all. This was really an accident that I'm live. I was trying to set up a pre-recorded, but nevertheless, I'm here. All right. Um, we had today is April 1st. Okay, April 1st, and things are getting rough out here for everybody. Okay, really, really rough for everybody. The first week in April, April 1st, April 2nd, you're going to take away your money. April 5th, there's going to be a march, a million people marching. But I'm going to be at home. I'm going to be at home. But before we get started, I do want to get my house rules out of the way, regardless whether I'm going to be at home or not. Okay, welcome to the Pink House. And then if you can do something for me, go ahead and hit that like button. That's the only way I'm going to continue to bring you great content. Okay. And not just bring you great content, but to stay in the algorithm so I can do what I do best. Okay. Now, also go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button don't cost you a thing. That's all free. Okay. It's all free. And if you do those two things, I'm going to go ahead and thank you right now. My second channel I got three, but I'm trying to get you to work on number two. Pink Global, go ahead and subscribe to Pink Global and get me over that little hump. It's a small hump that I have to get Pink Global monetized. Very small hump. And I know you all can do it. So help me. It's Pink Global, 2 words, all caps. Okay? Pink Global. Go over there and watch a couple of videos. Who knows? You may get over there and want to stay. Okay? So let's go ahead and get down to the matter at hand. You see it right here? Somebody, the orange man, the orange person, okay, have ordered, y'all know JD Vance, you'll fall for anything, to order to go after woke zoos. Now, I don't know what the heck that means. I know what a zoo is, okay, because been to many zoos before. But why is it got to be a woke zoo? I don't know. But the white woman over here saying, please don't take away our zoo. Please don't take away the zoo. Y'all see the panda bear? I love myself some panda bears. If I could have a job, that's what I would love to do. If I had a job, I would love to be the caretaker of panda bears. That's what I would love to do. I could do that for every day for free. You wouldn't have to pay me to take care no panda bear. I'll do it for a year. And then after that year, I may get tired. Then you're going to have to pay me. Okay? But I will take care of your panda bear at the zoo. Somebody offered me a job taking care of panda bears. I would do it. But please don't take away our zoo. You know who ordered him to do that? I'm not going to even say a word. I ain't saying a thing. I'm not saying a word. Y'all know the person that's going to be lying to you all the time. But anyway, let me go ahead and get this video out to you because I'm not going to waste no time with this because this is important to me too. I don't want nobody to take away the zoo or go in there and try to. This is going to be with MSNBC news, and the information is be down in my description box below my video. Here I go. I can't have nobody messing with my zoo because I love animals. Depends on what kind they are. Here we go. Y'all know who this is. This is Chris Hayes. I like Chris Hayes. Here we go, Chris.
From New York, I'm Chris Hayes. There is no denying there are a lot of things going on in America right now, heck, just today, that really don't look very much like America, or at least the best version of ourselves that we like to celebrate. Young foreign students and others being grabbed off the street by masked police in state-sanctioned abductions, performative cruelty and twisted photo ops by top government officials, criminals pardoned of the crimes if they support the current leader, and these bizarre spectacles of subservience in the Oval Office. Donald Trump's bet is that acting like a dictator is half the battle to becoming one. At a press conference to swear in his personal lawyer as the U.S. Attorney for New Jersey, which, by the way, would be an enormous scandal in any other time and place, Trump said that he pardoned a convicted fraudster because, quote, he was one of the first people that supported a gentleman named Donald Trump for president. Then he celebrated those black bag style snatching and disappearing of immigrants and foreign students while attacking the federal judges who have stood in the way.
This is the quickest way to clear out stuck poop.
If you've never felt like a burden because you have frequent stomach issues, then keep scrolling. For all of you that have stomach issues like bloating,
we're getting rid of a lot of bad people. They're being taken out. And we hope this court system that's become so active all of a sudden in trying to protect some very, very bad people of crime, they have to stop.
I'm sorry. Is people of crime what we're calling it now? I can't keep up. Donald Trump's goal is to replace American democracy with a Donald Trump dictatorship. Right now, he's playing the part, down to the choreography of reporter questions in that Oval Office today. I mean, since 1914, right, the journalists who cover the president and ask him questions have been chosen by an independent White House Correspondents Association. And last month, Trump decided to overrule them for the first time in over a century and just handpick his press corps. And he started purging reputable reporting outlets like the Associated Press. He banned the AP's reporters in retaliation when they refused his demand that it rename the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America. And as a result, slowly but surely, it is less journalism in there and more of whatever this is.
What has made you and your team so effective in finding, locating, apprehending, and deporting these violent, illegal migrants?
I love this guy. I wish more people would ask questions like that.
Everyone's laughing and having a good time. That reporter was from the far-right cable channel One America News. Then this was the next question.
Mr. President, I want to say, first of all, happy Women's Month. You do so much for women by, first of all, keeping men out of women's sports, and you platform so many.
That was an easy one. That was crazy.
You platform so many great women, like your Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles. You also have Caroline Levitt doing a great job as press secretary. Now Alina will be joining as well. Since Democrats seem to struggle answering this question, I wanted to ask you, what is a woman, and why is it important that we understand the difference between men and women?
Well, it's sort of easy to answer for me because a woman is somebody that can have a baby under certain circumstances.
Good answer, I guess. That question came from a representative of the far-right Tim Pool podcast. And if you heard of him, it may be because he was recently identified as a pro-Trump influencer who received hundreds of thousands of dollars from Russian state media to parrot Kremlin talking points. Now in the Oval Office. There you have it. The Associated Press is banned from the White House. Those guys are in the Oval Office with that cringy obsequiousness. You know, Peter Baker, who's a New York Times White House correspondent, wrote last month, having served as a Moscow correspondent in the early days of Putin's reign, this reminds me of how the Kremlin took over its own press pool and made sure that only compliant journalists were given access. I mean, Trump clearly wants what Putin has in Russia. A press corps of grovelers who will pump up the strongman in a kind of one-party safe space where Trump can call people scum and enemies. And again, this is just one small part of just a comprehensive day in, day out assault on fundamentally an open society and a free people. What we cherish most, what makes us who we are. An assault on the institutions and practices that make America America, the kind of place where, for instance, a university can host a lecture on humanitarian action by the former president of Doctors Without Borders and not have to cancel it because it might be too anti-Trump. And yet, that did happen in this country this week at NYU. The speaker says her lecture was canceled because the university administration feared her talk would be perceived as anti-government in the United States of America. Or the kind of country where, say, a student can co-author a measured, fact-based op-ed critical of a U.S. ally and not have the mass secret police snatch her off the street into detention, accused of ties to terror groups, and shipped away to another state in violation of a direct court order. A place where law firms can defend whatever client they want to in cases where they sue the government without fear of being crushed by the government. A country where dinner with the president isn't just sold to the highest bidder and the state isn't just used as a valuable tool to reward loyalists and punish perceived enemies. That is all fundamentally un-American. If there is an organizing principle of MAGA governance, is that they do not like anything they cannot control. And that is the opposite of a free society. To them, you will obey or you will be hunted. And every day there's a new example, as they just try to remake everything that is part of a free society, not under their control, down to museums and zoos. Yes, zoos. Do you catch this one? That was in the utterly insane executive order Trump signed yesterday, directing Vice President JD Vance to crack down on the Smithsonian Institution by removing improper ideology from its museums, education, and research centers, and the zoo. JD Vance is now going to patrol the zoo for
And you know what that's going to lead to? History being done away with it at museums and the Smithsonian and even at zoos. Things going to be, oh Lord, I can see it now because we got ignorant people and dumb people doing things. Oh, I can see it now. I hate to see it.
Proper ideology. Congratulations, Commissar. You've got the zoo portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's absurd and it's un-American. And I don't think most people like this. In fact, if you look at the polling and you look at the protests right now and you look at the town halls, Americans are waking up to that. They don't like it. That's why a Democrat took a state Senate seat this week in a Pennsylvania district that had been Republican held since 1979 in Lancaster, the heart of Amish country. And it is why Republicans are right now worried about a special election in the deep red Florida congressional district, once held by Trump National Security Advisor Michael Waltz, that he won by 30 points in the last election. And it is why Trump just pulled his nomination of Congresswoman Elise Stefanik to be UN ambassador, because he is worried about losing a special election in a district where she won last year by 24 points. So he needs her in Congress. All of this means we still do right now live in a free society. We still do live in a democracy where gravity, political gravity exists. Elections can still blunt Donald Trump's attempts at dictatorship. And the question before us each and every day is whether enough people understand the stakes here to mobilize in time to stop him.
Now, the thing about that is he's only been in office for 2 months. And right now, in office just for 2 months and you've done all of this, what's going to happen after you've been in office for another 2 months? If you can do all this damage and collapsing of the economy and people's lives, oh my God, and we got another 3 years and 10 months of this. I can't even take 2 months, because it's not that it's affecting me, but what it is just distress. I wonder, can I sue for stress? I don't know. Okay. Let's hear about this other one, okay? I'm not going to even tell you. It's too disturbing. It's really disturbing. When I say disturbing, it is, and this is the last one because this is disturbing, but it's with CNN, okay? How a man was mistaken. I'm going to say mistaken, kidnapped, taken by force, kidnapped that should never been kidnapped and put in a prison. All because of they want to come and snatch them up off the street, snatch them from their jobs, snatch them from the grocery store, snatch them from school. It don't matter how old you are. You don't look the part, you get snatched. Your hair is a little too darker or wavy, you get snatched. Oh my God. You got a tattoo that they don't want you to have or lack, you get snatched. You may got a tan, you get snatched. You get kidnapped. Okay, let's go ahead and go on with this other one. This is, like I said, with CNN. Don't make no sense, but I'm going to play it.
A stunning admission from the Trump administration. It admits in a court filing that a Maryland man was sent to the notorious El Salvadorian mega prison, all because of it.
Now, remember what she said, notorious. When a person put that in a sentence, that don't sound too good. That means that's somewhere you don't want to be. Okay? In a prison? Oh no.
Notorious El Salvadorian mega prison, all because of administrative error. And it argues there is no way to get him back. CNN's Priscilla Alvarez joins our panel now.
I heard this story.
Can you just kind of back up? Yeah. What do we know about who this person is and whether or not he was the danger to America that the administration is now claiming he was?
This is a filing that came in late last night in a lawsuit over the removal of the Salvadoran national. What we know, according to court documents, is that he crossed into the U.S. around 2011. He had a brush with law enforcement that we see in these court documents in 2019 when local police department had approached him and a group of men who were loitering at a Maryland Home Depot. The police department said that he had ties to MS-13. When he was detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement in that year, he went through immigration proceedings. Over the course of those proceedings, this alleged tie to MS-13 came up. According to the attorney, it was quite fruitless in getting additional information and evidence as to why he was being tied to this gang, other than the fact that the police department said it was because of a confidential informant and because of his attire at the moment that he was detained. Now, over the course of those immigration proceedings, again in 2019, an immigration judge granted what we call withholding of removal. What does that mean? That means that the government, cannot remove him to El Salvador for fear of persecution in that country. He is still removable to another country, but he cannot be sent to El Salvador. And if the federal government were to want to terminate that, they would have to go through an additional process in immigration court. So this man on the list, he gets arrested in March of this year and is detained by ICE. His wife, the last time she spoke with him was the morning of those 3 deportation flights to El Salvador. And this court declaration provides a glimpse of what exactly was happening that day. There was a flight manifest. And as ICE was working through this flight manifest, they were pulling off names because of various reasons, they say. His name, therefore, was moving its way up on the list until ultimately he was put on this deportation flight.
So is that the quote unquote clerical error that they claim?
Correct.
That it just moved up a list without anybody realizing?
And that is what the senior ICE official calls an administrative error, going on to say that Abrego Garcia, that's his last name, was removed from the U.S. to El Salvador. The senior ICE official says this was an oversight and the removal was carried out in good faith based on the existence of a final order of removal and Abrego Garcia's purported membership in MS-13. So the administration is maintaining that he has ties to MS-13. His attorney says that is not true. But the problem here for the attorneys, for the court, for the administration in these court documents is they can't get him back because he is now in Salvadoran custody. This is true as well with the other migrants that were sent on these deportation flights. So really the ball now is in El Salvador's court, and it's unclear what resolution there will be here, but this is an ongoing legal proceeding with another hearing on the horizon.
And Jeff, you cover the White House for us. I just want to say that Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, is speaking right now. And she doubled down on the notion that this man was part of a gang, MS-13, even though, as you said, we can't find any evidence that he was convicted of such a thing. What I just, as a layman looking at this, want to know is, why can't they get him back?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I wish I knew the answer. I think what I would say, sort of on a step back level,
They don't want him back.
I remember when Elon Musk and the president were in the Oval Office.
Let me just say this. They don't, I heard the story earlier. They don't want him back. And the reason why, but I'm going to put allegedly in front of it, or my opinion, but I inherited earlier, because this man got a good case to sue. He was wrongfully kidnapped, taken to another country, put in a mega prison where he don't have ties to none of that stuff they claim. He could sue for this, and they don't want the press to get a hold of this. They're trying to keep it quiet, hush, but they really don't want the press to get a hold to this, because this is a bad look for that administration. But they have done a lot of things to make it a bad look. Now, this is a big bad look, because that man could sue the living daylights out of them. Everybody that was involved. Okay? Treating him like and he has no ties to any of that stuff that they found out about it. No, this was a error. Even ICE, well, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly, because what I know, I shouldn't have to say it because it's on record, but ICE knew that they had made a mistake. But did they try to correct it before they get him there? No, because the orange man didn't give them no orders. They've taken the orders from the orange man. Okay. Hi, Linda Gamble. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Linda and TNT. Thank you all for being here. So that's what's happening. And it's just crazy. So here we go, guys.
This together the first time. Elon said, we're going to make mistakes and then we'll fix them. But some of these mistakes, if they are mistakes, are not easily fixed. And that's an example in this case. I was in the Oval Office yesterday with the president, and I asked him if he had seen the video of that Tufts student who was removed from the street, and if he was comfortable with that, because that's one example of what his administration is doing on immigration. And he get in very Trumpian ways, like, oh, I saw it, but I didn't look closely. I'm not super familiar. There's this desire to kind of gloss over the things that really have a real impact on human beings.
Yeah. So that's one example. And we're obviously focusing on this because there was a court filing. There are other examples.
Well,
Go ahead, please.
We're focusing on this because Immigration and Customs Enforcement has admitted to the
That's
error.
what I mean.
Because I have done reporting on multiple families and attorneys who have gone to immigration court expecting that their client was going to be beaming in from immigration detention, only to be told during that hearing by ICE, actually, this person was sent to El Salvador. We didn't notify you until this moment. So this all to say that this court filing has been significant because it demonstrates an error by the agency. Admitted, whereas attorneys and family members over the last several days have been saying, wait a minute, this person shouldn't be there.
So then the question is other people. And you have done incredible reporting talking about a number of people who are on those 3 ICE flights and others. Joe Rogan is an unlikely critic of Donald Trump on this.
Yeah.
And yet he was out on his podcast, which has millions and millions of listeners / viewers. He was talking about somebody different, a person who, according to Time, was taken, even though he said he's not a gang member. He said, I'm gay and I'm a barber. Listen to what Joe Rogan said about this case.
Yeah, I heard that one too. They took a barber, a gay man, that not even a gang member or nothing, and he's in the same situation. But Joe Rogan, on my understanding is he voted for Trump. He sides with Trump, but he came out and said that was wrong. Paraphrasing in his way, yeah.
That's horrific. And that's, again, that's bad for the cause. Like, the cause is, let's get the gang members out. Everybody agrees. But let's not innocent gay hairdressers get lumped up with the gangs. And then, like, how long before that guy can get out? Like, can we figure out how to get him out? If you want, compassionate people to be on board, you can't deport gay hairdressers seeking asylum. That's fucking crazy. And then throw them in an El Salvador prison.
Just on the raw politics of this, David, do you see that Rogan moment as a moment?
I see that moment as explanatory as to why Joe Rogan has such a broad following that he has, and is not I know he was supportive of Trump and is seen as in this manosphere universe that was instrumental to Trump, but why he has this large following is because he doesn't always just sort of like play to a partisan robotic type. He speaks sometimes, a little bit more pragmatically in his approach. And so what I don't know if it's a moment of like break, or I would not assess it that way, Dana, but I would say that is going to make ears inside the White House perk up. That is a trusted voice, and it is someone who is coming at this from a different angle outside sort of the blinders that they have on this.
And just real quick, we were wondering about Democrats speaking up. And if I'm a Democrat, I say, if Joe Rogan's doing it, it's much more powerful of a megaphone for people who are trying to reach.
Absolutely. And I mean, and in a way, this administration is always talking about common sense. It does seem like common sense. If you want to do this and say you're going after gang members, get actual gang members who you can prove it. Like, when you have people caught up in this who have very sympathetic stories, that's not good politically.
I want to turn to something else. You sit on the Homeland Security Committee. So I want to ask you about the president's immigration crackdown. Sure. The Trump administration now admits, and this is in a court filing, that it mistakenly deported a Maryland father to his home country of El Salvador, which he fled due to gang violence. The administration says it can't bring him back now because he's already over there. Does that concern you?
It does. And this is where I think it's so important.
Wait now, they can't bring him back because he's already over there? Yes, you can. You can bring somebody back if you know you made a mistake. The reason why they don't want to bring them back because they're afraid of the repercussions. They're going to sue you. They're going to sue them. And then the minute they step foot back on American soil, media will be all over this. Yeah, because you did it too many times. The hairdresser, that gay hairdresser, and then the other guy, this is no coincidence. It's a lot of them. I've been following these stories. They always say every last one of them is a mistake.
Important that we focus on convicted criminal illegal aliens. Last year, I wrote ICE and I got a response. I asked, how many convicted criminal illegal aliens are in our country? The number is 662,000. That's astronomical. So in my eyes, let's go after that pool of people. Once again, these are people that are convicted in a court of law that should not be put in the same category as maybe some of these other folks. I really would like us to hamper on that. If we do that, I think that keeps Americans safe. Exactly the agenda items the president ran on, and it also highlights the fact that we're focused on deporting these convicted criminals.
Well, here's how the White House press secretary defended these deportations, because the White House said, look, these are criminal gang members that we're deporting. It was part of their defense of, not releasing more details about who these people are. I want to play the sound from Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, and then talk on the other end.
They have the highest degree of professionalism, and they were 100% confident in the individuals that were sent home on these flights and in the president's executive authority to do that.
That's a lie.
So again, she was saying, look, these are
That's
criminals, these are gang members. But now the administration is admitting, look, actually, one of these people, this Maryland father, this was an administrative error. I'm wondering, do you think the White House should release the full list, the identities of those who were deported? Because as you know, they didn't get the due process here in the U.S. They were sent to El Salvador.
Look, I'm waiting to get more details on this one specific case, but the fact are there's been thousands of other cases in my eyes where there have been convicted criminal illegal aliens that are no longer on our streets. That's a positive thing. Now, look, one case, is that enough to have more transparency? Yes, it is. You want to get it right 100% of the time. I also want these 662,000 convicted criminal illegal aliens out of our country, and I don't want the Trump administration to slow down. I actually want them to speed up, and I also think the Congress has a role to play. Congress needs to ensure that they're giving them all the resources that the administration needs in order to accomplish that. But I do want transparency. The American people deserve transparency on what exactly is happening, not just
that administration ain't going to do nothing like no transparency. They don't even know what that word means. This is just what they do. They take innocent people and they gang them up in a van, put them all in a van and take them away, because that's what they do. You ain't got to be doing a thing, because ICE's job is to just go out there and grab up people, and even when they figure out, oh, we shouldn't have you, you think they're gonna let you go? No, they already grabbed you up, so they just gonna go ahead and go with the flow. Let's just dump him off in El Salvador. Let's dump him off in one of these foreign countries somewhere in a prison, or take him to a detention center. They don't care. They just want to get you out of the way, whether they made a mistake. They don't. And that little woman at that podium talking about, oh, they do with the professionalism. She needs to shut her mouth, because she don't do nothing but lie. I watched her a couple times. All she do is just lie and make up lies. She's just like the rest of them. She won't have a job for long anyway, because he go through them like rabbits. Okay, that's all I got to say about that. Okay, y'all just make sure y'all who said stay prayed up? I think it was TNT said stay prayed up. You just stay prayed up. And as for going anywhere through April the 5th, going to that march, y'all better stay yourself at home. I can't tell you what to do, but me being a content creator, I'm staying my butt at home. Yeah, y'all better find something to do. You better get in the house and cook the biggest dinner and have all your family there with you, and y'all cook. Yeah, I can't cook, but that's why I'm going to have somebody doing my cooking for me, because I can't cook. But that don't mean I'm not going to eat. Okay? And you can learn how to do that, the thing with the fan. If you got your fan from Melanie. Oh, I got a unboxing to do. Let me call somebody to go get it for me. Well, I'll do it not on this here. I don't want to mix her stuff with this evil orange person and this little puppet Vance. I don't want to mix that together, but I do have an unboxing. I may do it in my kitchen. I'll just go in my kitchen and stand there and do that unboxing. And I'm still sleepy, guys. If y'all haven't noticed, my eyes are really closed. I'm still sleepy because my shoulder's been hurting again. When I ate, I had to take more medicine, so I'm still sleepy. But that's okay. But that don't mean I can't talk. I can still talk with my eyes open and closed, But anyway, we're going to go ahead and be getting out of here. I just want to bring that to you, okay? We're only 34 minutes into this live. So I just want to bring that information to you, how they snatching up, kidnapping people that have nothing to do with nothing. People, that's why a lot of the Hispanic people and other races are staying home. They only go out when they need to. I don't blame them. And don't be out in those fields working in white people fields, and then you get snatched up too. Because then your kids, when they're going to be looking for you, they're going to be wondering where's their mama, where's their daddy, and mama and daddy is gone. They're not going to let you make a phone call. You're going to be gone to one of them detention centers, sleeping on the concrete floors with a one of those silver blankets, piece of paper over you. You ain't gonna have no phone, no nothing. Doubt if they let you have some drawers on. So, in a freezing place, you sleep on the floor. And then they're gonna be moving you from the detention center to another one in a week time. So that way nobody can find out where you are. You get lost in the shuffle. Because the longer they keep you there, the more money they make. It's a business. That's all it is. The more that people they get in there, that's a business. And if you have to have so many in there, okay, so they just doing it as a business. It's just like having animals. How many cows you got? I'm not calling the people a cow, but that's what they're looking, the way they're looking at it. And everybody at the top is making money off it, okay? So y'all go tell that to somebody that like they don't know. But anyway, that's it, guys. Let me see. Pinkie tried to get you some rest, love. I'm going. This supposed to be I was doing a pre-recorded, but because I'm so sleepy, I hit the wrong thing. I hit going live. And I told my daughter, oh my gosh, I'm so sleepy. I was going to do a pre-recorded where I can go be getting ready and be recording it. And I accidentally hit live. And by the time I looked up, it said going live. I said, Lord of mine. So yeah, I'm sleepy. I'm very sleepy and tired. I don't know how I'm going to make it. Okay. Oh, I'm so tired and sleepy. Okay. So guys, thank you all for being here, but y'all know how I love to do it. Y'all know how I love to do it. And thank you for being here. And let me just say this to all my subscribers and members and people that like my commentary. I need to get to 6,000 subscribers. I know there's a lot of you that haven't subscribed. Okay? Doesn't cost anything. Just hit the subscribe button to help me get over that hump. Okay? That's what I need. And then for my second channel, Pink Global, like I said, it don't cost a thing. Go over there and do the same thing because I'm right there at the edge. I'm right there, right there. So I need to go ahead and get those two things done. Okay? These ain't asking y'all for no money because y'all, I don't need nothing. I just need to go to sleep. And I do want to thank Gemini today. Gemini gave me $50 for my birthday. My birthday is coming up April 6th. And she gave me a $50 super sticker. And I do appreciate that, Gemini. That was so appreciative to you, from you. But I'm going to go ahead and go to sleep, get off this thing. But y'all know how I do it. This is how I do it right here.
Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great.